day. Doo-doo-doo. He is pontificating you. There you go. Way to use the word right here, right now, in real time. Now, one thing I would like to say is I posted this on all of my social media platforms this morning. I did a video. Hey, we're talking about gender bias. And what I've noticed is at my apprehension to doing it, I initially thought, oh, I'm going to have a bunch of people on here talking shit. And yeah, that didn't occur. So I think it's interesting that people did have an opinion. And I think it's because of how I approach the subject. I could be wrong. So for the visitors, if you are a visitor, I don't know, because they unlike TikTok, I can't see who you are until you comment, or your privacy is private. Um, you didn't realize how much gender bias you had. I know. Isn't that interesting? And until it is brought to your attention, you don't even recognize that it's taking place. But no, because you went to Allen teens. If you spot it, you got it. So the more times you are engaging in it, you actually have it. But you can do something about it. You can wire the neural pathways of your brain to just start seeing people. Let me tell you how all this goes away. All of these biases go away. You use the 74 principles of real leadership. That's number one. But you just start seeing people as people. That's it. If you put people in two categories, you're either personally accountable or personally unaccountable. And now you start listening to what they do. Now you're going to say, oh, I know neurologically why you just made that decision. I know exactly what you're doing. Battle rattle is a real thing. At first, I thought it was just a Dr. Donna word. Did you look it up? Dr. Donna's dictionary is a real thing. Got it. Did you learn anything else, Kevin, besides battle rattle? Pokey bait is a real word, too. I used to have pokey bait when we were out in the field. So when you start to actually just see people as people, then you're going to be able to accomplish so much more. Yep, you did. Got it. So you're going to be able to accomplish so much more. My daughter had that issue because I always say I used to really say it a lot, the sticky road to rutness. And so she thought it was the actual word, came home, told me, you made up another word. That ain't no word. So yeah, I will put 2 to 3 words together. And that's part of the reason why I wanted a doctorate, because I used to tell people, the reason why I'm going to get my doctorate is because when you have a doctorate, you can make up your words, and can't nobody tell you that that's not a word because you have the ability to make them up. So that's why I have Dr. Don's dictionary, so I can put like Galaxphere, Hugh Normic, Fluffaluffagus. I just posted that, reposted it from many years ago. So that's the person who always want to fluff themselves up on social media, but it's just all fluff and puff and nothing real, and they ain't tough either. So yes, when you hold yourself personally accountable to become your best, you are going to start seeing people for who they actually are, instead of this representative stuff, these biases. I got on a suit, or I got on some pajamas and a bonnet, I'm disheveled, so that must mean I'm not taking care of myself. All of those things actually go away, and you just start seeing people. Spouse and wife is the same person, but the duties are yes, they are very received differently. So if you say this is my spouse, that's different. If you say these are my parents instead of this is my mom and dad, or my mom and mom, or my dad and dad. If you say these are my siblings, that's my older sibling, that's my younger sibling, that's my middle siblings. It changes the dynamic, and it takes away all of those things that they mean, because now you're just a sibling, and you're a parent, you're a spouse, my significant other, my partner. Now the brain has to process that differently. But you say, if that's my wife, I know. It's like, there go my husband over there. Look at him, just breathing. Then that changes. Look at it, just now you know. And those are gender in theory specific. But now you just say it's spouse, my amazing offspring. Now that's different, because that's actually true. So the whole thing is to stop it with any bias. Check your bias, and ask yourself, where did it come from? Is this my own personal bias, or is this something that was handed down to me along with all my other generational curses? And you can do something about it, because we're not going to change as a human population until we start changing as individuals. It's not going to work. This whole notion of,